Sneetches, my Dr. Seuss. Now the star-belly Sneetches had bellies with stars, but the plain-belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really quite small. You'd think such a thing wouldn't matter at all, but because they had stars, all the star-bellied Sneetches would brag, "We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they'd sniff and they'd snort. It would have nothing to do with plain-belly. And whenever they met someone they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. When the star-bellied children went out to play ball, did the plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain-bellied children had none on theirs. When the star-bellied Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics, or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-bellied Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near. And that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day, it seems, while the plain-belly Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of stars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and clean, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean. I've heard of your troubles, I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm a fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need. My prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, "You want stars like a star-belly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $30 each. Just pay me your money and climb right aboard." So they clambered inside, and the big machine roared, and it conked and bumped and it jerked and it perked and it bopped them about. But the thing really worked. When the plain-belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." "Really?" groaned the ones who had stars first. "We're still the best Sneetches and they are the worst. But now, how in the world will we know?" They all frowned. But which kind is what? The other way around. Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. You don't know who's who now, that's perfectly true. Come on, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches. And all it will cost you is $10 each." "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars so you won't look like those who have them upon theirs." And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tongues quite nicely. With their snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks and they let out a shout. "We know who's who now, and there isn't a doubt that the best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without." Now the ones who had stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then up came good old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. And then, of course, as you probably guess, things really got into a horrible mess. On again, off again, in again, out again. Through the machines they raced, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying their money. They kept running through, till neither the plain or the star-belly knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. When every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up, and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. "They never will learn, no, you can't teach a speech." But McBean was quite wrong, I'm quite happy to say, for the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. That day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day all the Sneetches forgot about stars, and whether they had one or not.